From gut-wrenching Pueblo, Colorado, it's another thrilling episode of Kerry Fox Live.
The last time I watched anything at all on Fox News were those wild and crazy debates the Republicans had back in 2011 and in 2012. Herman Cain talking about building a moat with alligators at the border. Remember that?
And you've been part of the problem. How are you going to be part of the solution?
No, I'm not. No, I understand the system better than anybody did because I was part of the system. But I understand the system better than anybody. And by the way, many of the people putting up that money are friends of mine. These are people that are putting it up because they want something and they're going to get something.
You know, Donald Trump can say whatever he wants to say. Donald Trump can say whatever he wants to say. It doesn't matter what he says. He will be up in the polls by that evening after he says it. I'm telling you, Donald Trump is a phenomenon. He is a gift that keeps on giving. He is a symptom. Donald Trump is all of these things and much more. I told you he wouldn't go away just yet. He may not go away at all. It just depends on how far the Republican Party has devolved. Welcome to Kerry Fox Live, a futile attempt to promote truth and common sense in a world gone mad. Just me and my drunken stupor pontificating upon the hypocrisies of our times. Show for liberals, a liberal show. And you know, you're going to do a show about what Donald Trump says, right? And I have a habit of giving myself my own worst assignments. Do you have any idea how ridiculous it is to even try to catch up and keep up with what Donald Trump says? It can't be done. It cannot be done. And I think the main reason nothing he says has tripped him up yet is because by the time people find out what he said, before people can get all outraged, he's already said a dozen new things for people to think about and be outraged about, and 11 of those things are something that the dumb fucks in the GOP primary voting structure agree with. But even though Donald Trump says a lot of things, and it's difficult to keep up with what Donald Trump says, and he has already said something else outrageous by the time people hear of the last one, there is a rhetorical pattern beginning to emerge. The reason for that is because Donald Trump is speaking more and more. He has to speak more and more as he runs for president. As resourceful and as entertaining a speaker as Donald Trump is, even the great Donald Trump is having some difficulty keeping up with the constant flow of new material. It's difficult. I don't mean no disrespect, you understand? I don't mean to suggest that there is anyone at all in the contest for the Republican presidential nomination who can possibly out-talk Donald Trump in any way, whatever, much less match Donald Trump for the quality of the comedy material he provides in every single one of his appearances. I'm just saying that to win a party nomination, you have to do a whole lot of talking. And even Donald Trump has to resort to reusing some arguments to make his case for the nomination. Donald has figured out he needs to keep replaying the hits.
We're building a wall. Nobody's going through my wall. Trump builds walls, I build walls.
Nobody.
We're building a wall.
Nothing.
It's going to be strong. It's going to be solid. Nobody can go under it. Nobody's going over it. And you know what? We're going to have a big, beautiful door.
The hits just keep on coming. They just keep on coming. Take my foreign policy and stuff, please. Donald Trump has resolved our energy problem, and Donald Trump has resolved our foreign policy problem in the Middle East in one fell swoop. And no, I'm not talking about his hair.
We have to take them out, and we have to take them out strongly. They have great money because they have oil. They have much oil. I would, every place where they have oil, I would knock the hell out of them, and I would put boots on the ground in those areas. I would take the oil. But I would knock out the source of their wealth, the primary source of their wealth, which is oil. I would knock the hell out of them, but I'd put a ring around it and I'd take the oil for our country.
Isn't that great? I love that one. That is great, and he keeps repeating it. If you think that Donald Trump cannot be depended upon to provide constant political and comedy gold during this entire campaign for president, let me reassure you that yes, he can. Yes, he can.
And I tell you what, CNN did a poll, and I was through the roof on the economy. I was like really high.
He was up there.
I was through the roof on leadership. I killed everybody on leadership.
You gotta love that stuff. I mean, you just gotta love that stuff. Oh, man. But Donald Trump, Republican presidential candidate and front runner for the nomination. Oh, man, just saying that out loud. Donald Trump can be counted upon to provide more than just rhetorical patterns throughout the campaign. Some other patterns are beginning to emerge as well. Policy patterns, things like that. They're simply delightful for Democrats. Absolutely delightful. If you follow politics, if you enjoy politics, what Donald Trump is saying is pure comedy gold. It's the finest in political infotainment. For one thing, Trump is doing our work for us. He's slamming Republicans better than most comedians in the biz.
Bush the other day didn't want to fund them.
The biz.
He said, I don't want to fund women's health issues. He didn't want to fund. That's worse than Romney's 47%, which probably cost him the election, along with other things, like he forgot to campaign for about 3 weeks at the end, okay? That didn't help.
That's terrible.
Forgot to go on television for about 3 weeks. But
I think the problem we have with comedy genius is that we don't appreciate it when we have it. And here we are relegating everything Donald Trump says to mere politics. But politics he's got handled. Oh, yeah, he's got it handled. His opponents drop in the polls as soon as they take him on in any way, whatever. That's true. They disappear, and then Trump rises. Scott Walker is dropping in Iowa to Trump's rise. Lindsey Graham took him on and hasn't been heard from since.
Nobody ever attacked me like Senator Lindsey Graham. I mean, what he said.
He was attacked.
And he went from 1% to nothing.
Man.
It's true. Nobody ever attacked me, nobody, like Perry of Texas, who, by the way, did a lousy job at the border. I mean, he's talking about the border. The guy was governor, and he keeps talking about the border. I say, you were governor of Texas. Why didn't you fix it? And he didn't like it when I said, you have to pass an IQ test to come up on the stage. He said, no.
Isn't that something? I tell you, this is impressive stuff. Trump's domination in the polls for the long term, it's beginning to take a toll on the oversized field. And it's beginning to drive others from the race. Rick Perry tried taking on the Donald. He's out of there. He's out of there. Chris Christie, you may have heard the rumors. He's a tough guy. He's about to drop out. The most electable candidate, Jebbia. He's disappeared with his $115 million or so. And Rand Paul? What about Rand Paul?
Rand, I've had you up to here.
Oh, man.
It's funny, though. So Rand Paul has been hitting me because he's like, his poll is like going down. He's weak on military. Can you imagine today being weak on the military?
He's weak.
He's weak on immigration. He's weak on everything.
He's weak.
He's got no numbers. So all of a sudden, and he called me up. He said, I'd love to, this is like a year ago, he wants to play a round of golf with me. I said, oh no, don't tell me. So I'm actually a good golfer. I killed him, okay? I killed him.
Killed him.
But more importantly, after the round, he said, do you think you could do me a favor? What? Could you contribute to my eye center? I said, you know what? What do they do? Bum, bum, bum. I said, yes, I will. I gave him a lot of money. Then all of a sudden, I see him chirping on the stage. He's like chirping. I said, who is that over there, that person? Who is he? Ping, ping. Ping, pow, pow, ping, pow. And now he's going around, saying like bad things, whatever,
Now, since I got that soundbite that you just heard, Donald Trump also said this about Rand Paul. Quoteth, Rand should just save his lobbyists and special interest money and just go quietly home. Rand's campaign is a total mess, and as a matter of fact, I didn't know he had anybody left in his campaign to make commercials who are not currently under indictment. Bing, bada boom. So you see what I mean? You can capture all the Donald Trump sound bites you want to capture. It doesn't matter. He'll have a more outrageous quote by the time anyone hears the soundbite. If you're trying to keep up, it's futile. I like to say, the American dream is dead. It's dead. But I'm going to make it bigger and better and stronger than ever before. Okay? What? I say it all the time. It's going to raise it from the dead. The American dream is dead, but I'm going to make it bigger, better, stronger than ever before. It's dead, it can't get better. So I say it all the time. So I go home a month ago, and my wife saw me speaking on television. And she said, darling, that was such a horrible thing you said. It was so nasty. I said, what did I say? You said the American dream is dead. I said, no. I said, it's dead, but we're going to make it great, right? So I turn on television, and I see it. And it says, the American dream is dead. Boom, period. Bang. I said, that's terrible. No, it's so dishonest. But the fact is, a lot of people think it is dead. And you thought It's Morning in America was great. Oh, man, that one right there. Trump's success at talking has discredited years of press relations from the experts. Usually when a politician says something outrageous, the PR person tries to do damage control on that politician's remarks. Donald Trump is proving the strategy is outdated. It's outdated. He just unleashes a bevy of new outrageous remarks, and pretty soon nobody is talking about the old one anymore. I admit, I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming. I had the race for the Republican presidential nomination completely handicapped, and then here comes the Secretariat of Political Races to destroy the entire field of Republican candidates. Donald Trump not only saving us liberals from the tough work of exposing the fascist, here comes a fascist who himself is destroying the field for us, taking the worst of them down one by one.
And actually, Carly was a little nasty to me. Be careful, Carly.
Be careful.
Be careful. But I can't say anything to her because she's a woman, and I don't want to be accused of being tough on women. I can't do that, right? Can I do that?
No.
Women, am I allowed to fight back? Huh? Am I allowed?
No.
She's been a little nasty to me. So I promised that I wouldn't say, and I said it to myself, I promised I wouldn't say that she ran Hewlett-Packard into the ground. I said I will not say it. That her stock value tanked.
Oh.
That she laid off tens of thousands of people.
Say it.
And she got viciously fired. Say it! Say it! I said I will not say that. And that she then went out and ran against Barbara Boxer for the United States Senate in California. And it's a race that should have been won, and she lost in a landslide. And I said,
here it comes.
I will not say that, okay? Say it! So I'm not going to say it. So...
You see that? That's just brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant, creative, off-the-cuff remarks, rhetoric. The best writers in Hollywood would have trouble keeping up. Nobody in the GOP running for president can touch this guy in material. They just can't do it. If he messes up and outrages someone, he just talks more than he's been talking and outrages somebody else. The guy is a rhetorical genius.
We have to take back our jobs from China and all of the other people.
Those other people.
We have to renegotiate our trade deals. We have the greatest deal makers in the world.
Genius, I'm telling you.
If I win, we will have our best. And these people, but some of them are not nice.
No.
Some are horrible human beings, okay?
They're horrible.
But they're the greatest in the world. Do we want nice people, or do we want these horrible human beings negotiating? Horrible. I want horrible.
They're great and horrible.
I want the horrible.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Thanks, Donald.
I think the problem with people like this is that they are so stupid that they have no idea how stupid they are. You see, if you're very, very stupid, how can you possibly realize that you're very, very stupid? You'd have to be relatively intelligent to realize how stupid you are. There's a wonderful bit of research by a guy called David Dunning at Cornell, who's a friend of mine, I'm proud to say, who's pointed out that in order to know how good you are at something requires exactly the same skills as it does to be good at that thing in the first place, which means, and this is terribly funny, that if you're absolutely no good at something at all, then you lack exactly the skills that you need to know that you're absolutely no good at it. And this explains not just Hollywood, but almost the entirety of Fox News.
I want to begin by saying that
our nation is shocked and saddened by the news of the shootings at Virginia Tech today.
The majority of those who died today were children.
The exact toll has not yet been confirmed.
To the people of the community of Littleton,
our hearts are broken today. As a country, we have been through this too many times.
Schools should be places of safety.
Whether it's an elementary school in Newtown.
Perhaps we may never fully understand it.
We're going to have to come together and take meaningful action.
In any way we can.
Regardless of the politics.
To the parents who have lost their beloved children.
My administration would do everything possible
to prevent anything like this from happening again.
May God bless the memory of the victims.
I ran for president to renew the promise of America, to rebuild the middle class and sustain the American dream, to provide opportunity to those who are willing to work hard for it and have that work rewarded, so they could save for college, a home, and retirement, afford gas and groceries, and have a little left over each month. We need leaders once again who can tap into that special blend of American confidence and optimism that has enabled generations before us to meet our toughest challenges. Leaders who can help us show ourselves and the world that with our ingenuity, creativity, and innovative spirit, there are no limits to what is possible in America.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Smile. It's good to get high and never come down. It's good to be king of your own little town. Yeah, the world would swing. Oh, if I were king. Still dream time to time. It's good to be king and have your own way. Get a feeling of peace at the end of the day. When your bulldog barks and your canary sings, you're out there with winners. It's good to be king. Yeah, I'll be king when dogs get wings. Can I help it if I still dream time to time? Have your own world. It helps to make friends. It's good to meet girls, a sweet little queen who can't run away. It's good to be king, whatever it pays. Excuse me if I have some place in my mind where I go time to time.
I swear to God, I thought the nominee for the Republicans would be Mike Huckabee. That was my prediction. The year of God and all of that. That's what I've been saying all year. But I have a growing regard for the candidacy of Donald Trump. Yes, there is a very simple reason. Nobody can out-talk the guy. Nobody. The entire field of candidates cannot match his rhetoric and his comedy gold. I'm telling you, it's comedy gold. Ted Cruz is pretty good, but he can't do it, even if he does cat in the hat, all that. Mike Huckabee probably comes closest in terms of outraging people, but he's nowhere near as close to the Donald in cutting remarks or even comedy. Donald Trump is much better, and it's beginning to look as though nobody can match him or can come close to being as prolific as he is. Now remember, according to the experts at this, drama is easy on television, but it's comedy that can be really difficult to do.
I'm running as a Republican. I'm leading as a Republican.
He is.
I will win. I think I'm going to get the nomination. And if I get the nomination, I think I'll be president. And if I'm president, we're going to have a great country. And then we will really have better than Reagan, better than anybody. We will make America great again.
Great.
When Bill Clinton called me, I had already made up my decision, just so you understand. He called me long after I had made a decision, and everyone knew I was running, so it wasn't like that.
Great.
And I think he's very disappointed that I'm running, because I'm the one person that's going to beat her. Now, I think she may not be able to run, to be honest, because this whole email thing is a horrible thing. Assuming she's able to run, which would be absolutely, to me, a miracle at this point, I will beat her.
It's the cutting remarks that Republicans appreciate about the Donald. The simpler, the better. And I don't think there's any doubt that the Donald can rattle them off one right after the other. He does it. He does it every day. He's doing it really well with all of his learned experience and saying outrageous things. And as rapidly as he does, nobody can touch Donald Trump.
I don't like people touching me. It's true. It's true.
It's true.
It's true, actually.
It's true.
But
we may just not have to worry about all of the crazies, all of the lunatics on the right, the extreme right wing. Donald Trump alone might get us all killed. Stop by KerryFoxLive.com, our home on the internet. That's KerryFoxLive.com. The entire archive is available at KerryFoxLive.com. That's it. Share the page with your fellow leftist liberal friends. I'd appreciate that. You can also share Kerry Fox Live on Facebook with your friends. Follow the show and stay abreast of breaking political news along with me on Twitter at Kerry Fox Live. Once again, thank you for listening to me spew as I do. Until next time, this is Kerry Fox saying,
bum, bum, bum. I was asked by, because they're actually a tenant of mine, Qatar, which they call Qatar, and they asked me to go to a dinner. And I said, I can't. And they said, we'll pay you a lot of money. Now, as rich as I am, I mean, it was a lot of money to have a dinner. Like a tremendous amount of money. So I said, I'll go. Let's go. Now,